scenarios, but first let's look at SHEP and LOSCOM transfers. If in your delivery there is a docket number and scheduled quantity showing, it is likely that a transfer is to be completed. You would therefore select No for the Exchange Pallet checkbox and move down to the Transfer sections. You must confirm the actual number of pallets that you leave on-site with the customer. Ideally, this should match the scheduled quantity. If all pallet numbers do match, you can select No for Manual Adjust and select Completed as Schedule. If pallet numbers do not match for whatever reason, then you must select Yes for Manual Adjust and enter further comments to explain why there is a mismatch. Let's now look at the same delivery, but where a client wishes to exchange pallets. By selecting Yes to exchange, you will be shown 4 pallet types. You can view even more pallet types by entering a quantity in the other field if needed. For this delivery, the customer is returning the 24 SHEP and the 21 LOSCOM, so that no transfer needs to take place. You must enter the quantities in both the pallet type boxes, along with the total number of empty pallets picked. Load restraint questions will need to be answered. As no transfers will be taking place, you can leave the actual transfer quantity as 0 and select No against each transfer. This will show as a mismatch and should flag Manual Adjust. Select the best options from the drop-down list and always add further comments to avoid any confusion. Finally, let's take a look if a customer wishes to do both. This customer is going to return 1 SHEP, so we must enter the pallet type and the total pallet quantity in the exchange section. When we move on to the transfer sections again, we should add the actual number transferred. As the customer has returned 1 SHEP, we would only enter 23 against the transfer. LOSCOM pallets would all be transferred as normal. Manual Adjust is again flagged, and you should make further notes to confirm why it has been flagged. The main thing is to always confirm what has actually happened on site. If a pallet is missing, or you have extra, then always enter the actual quantity and make notes as to why there are mismatches. You can also use the Manual Adjust if you pick up any errors in a customer's address or opening time on their docket. Just be sure to give details in the additional note section so dispatch can rectify it. For customer approval, always enter the receiving customer's name in the text box. It is preferred that the customer then signs on the glass and you check the customer box. If a customer will not sign the glass, then you must sign your own signature and check the driver box. It is then highly recommended that the customer signs a paper docket and you take a photo of their signature on the paper docket. You can then upload this image into the app for record purposes. Tap on the Finish button, as this will then send a copy of the electronic signed proof of delivery direct to the customer's email address.